Hi guys, my name is Jacob Briggs, and a long time ago, about a year and a half ago, I did this top 10 list for a required class in my school, and I did it on my top 10, my top 10 favorite monkeys. But I did it as the top 10 monkeys of all time. 'Cause, I'm a big monkey guy. I was born in the year of the monkey. I like monkeys. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But a lot has changed over time. I've grown as a monkey fan, and I think it's important for me to go back and give an updated ranking of the top 10 monkeys of all time. So let's get into it. So number 10 is gonna be Mojo Jojo. It's the real reason he's here is because of alliteration. It's an important monkey trait, like I mentioned last time, where he was also number 10. But it's important to have alliteration. It helps your name stand out, and it's a common monkey trait. He also has a sick ass cape, which is awesome. But the cons, sometimes he does evil. I can respect evil when it's done by a guy in an orange, tracksuit. But when it's done by a monkey, I don't know. Actually, speaking of being on tracksuit, whatever, I'm just gonna go on a quick tangent. I want to go on my top 10 fictional villains of all time, because villains are really good in stories, and yeah, I just want to give some credit. So number 10 is gonna be Dan from Dan vs. He not a typical villain, but he has Mr. Mumbles, which I'm a cat fan. I can enjoy that. Cat and monkeys, that's a combo, and also he evades his taxes, which is awesome. But sometimes he's not really a villain because he's in the right. So yeah, number 9, Jet Bean. From my foremost favorite movie of all time, Killer Bean Forever, which has sadly been taken over by everything everyone all at once. But I can't deny Jeff Liu made a master class in villainy here. It's voiced by Jeff Liu. He has Wonder Woman bracelets, which is sick. Also helps break down the gender stereotype. Jet Bean is not afraid to get effeminate. But then also he doesn't pay his bill, which is a kind of a dick move. I put down that he does pay his bill, but it's actually supposed to be he doesn't. I did make this while off my mind at like 10 o'clock at night. So it's gonna be a couple typos. But number 8, Prowler from Spider-Verse, just legit, just incredible theme. The wow, I'm gonna put it in right now. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put it in like 3 seconds, just because I gotta explain real quick. I'm gonna only put it in for a short amount of time because of copyright. So 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, that's it. Okay, yeah. And also beautiful death scene. I mean, God, dude, it hit hard, but he does die. Which not the best thing for a villain to do, unless it's at the end of the movie. So yeah, number 7 is Garfield. What a ruthless villain. He hates Mondays and he's mean to Odie, which is really funny. I hate it. I hate when he's not mean to Odie. I like it when he says that Odie's a dumb, stupid dog. But he's sometimes mean to John. John doesn't deserve that, dude. John is an absolute good dude, okay? Have you seen his dance moves? Busting it down John style. Moving on. Okay, Jobu Tupaki, just legit, like an actually great villain from my favorite movie of all time. There are no cons, but for the sake of bits, he's only going at number 6. Number 5, Jack Black's Bowser. Legit, just sounds good. When it was revealed that Jack Black would be doing Bowser, I was like, huh. I don't know how that's gonna sound though, because Jack Black's voice, I don't know if I can separate it from Bowser, but it works. And the cons of it though is that it's gonna be an Illumination film, so it has the potential just to be dog shit. I don't care what they've shown. I don't not care what they've shown us. It has the potential to go downhill. Okay, I live in constant fear of what Illuminations will do. Number 4 is Yuzakage Kira. Pros, hands, and there's a Queen reference. The cons is that he never hits the default dance. I think that really would have improved part 4. maybe like right before the final time stop, if he hit the default dance when he thought he won, I think that'd be, really satisfying when he gets the shit beaten out of him. But moving on. Number 3 is Jerry Seinfeld from What's to Do with Airline Food. Pros, bias. The cons, bias. Okay, moving on. Number 2 is Steel Wool from the Scott the Woz universe. For a long time, I wasn't a huge Steel Wool fan. I was like, he was fun, but I don't know. But over time, he really grew on me, especially coming back in the recent Christmas special and stuff. His pros, he's a corrupt cop, and he grows to be better, which is really cool. But he did kill Rex Mose once, which that hurt, man. Rex Mose obviously being one of my favorite characters of all time. When he did that, I did send an angry letter to the president. I mean, I don't know if he's seen Scott the Woz, but if anyone could do something about a corrupt cop, it's the president. But then number 1, of course, it's Vector. He just has all of them. Legit, I think a deep character. I think if Illuminations ever wants to just make a fucking oddball movie, make one about Vector dealing with the fucking, the neglectful father and, trying to live up to, this generational divide and, trauma. Dude, I legit think it could be sick. The only bad thing is that he doesn't get unlimited screen time. Yeah, so thank you. Okay, thank you for sending through the fictional villain thing. We still have the monkey list, so I'm really sorry for going off on that tangent, but let's get into it. Number 9 is the Sus Monkey. He kind of looks like Among Us, so that's why I call him Sus Monkey. He's a meme. He's like Among Us. And the cons, speaking of Among Us, I remember where I wrote that, because, so there's another quick tangent on why Among Us became so popular. It's quick. It's only 3 slides. So let's get into it. Number 1, quarantine. Due to COVID, a lot of people were inside their, homes and stuff, but social media actually blossomed during this time, particularly video games, because they allowed, a lot of the extroverts who would normally go to parties and do other extrovert stuff. I have no fucking clue. Now they had to interact in other ways with video games, filled that gap. And Among Us, gained mass appeal, because basically it forced people to speak with each other, and it was a very intense, debating game. You'd have to do a lot of it was a lot about the way you talk to each other, but mostly it was just people screaming that red is sus, because that's objectively the peak of comedy. But number 2, streaming. Literally a fucking politician streamed Among Us on Twitch. That's all I have to say for this. The fucking politician was fucking imposter. They were venting. A fucking politician was in the vents, fucking in electrical. You got killed in electrical by a fucking politician, and that's why you can't trust them. Anyways, number 3, the imposter. So thank you. Okay, I'm really sorry about that, but it was quick, easy. Let's get back to it. Number 6, Curious George. The pros, man with the yellow hat. I mean, dude, man with the yellow hat is just wow. He's a pretty funny monkey, but also he has caused a lot of property damage, like a ton, and he's also smoked from a pipe one. But that was in the early Curious George, which I don't consider canon, because it doesn't paint the man in the yellow hat in the best picture. But yeah, because I really like the man in the hat, in like a. Okay, let me just describe it this way. Okay. Like I said there, I'm straight, but the man with the yellow hat, I mean, number 1, he's wholesome, okay? He's just such a wholesome guy. He's like Indiana Jones, but instead of fighting Nazis, he takes care of a funny monkey. That's awesome right there. That right there is president material. Number 2, he pulls off the color yellow. I despise yellow, but I can admire, the fit, okay? I mean, the tall hat, I like tall hats. The personal favorite of mine. And it should be goofy, It should be goofy. But it has a class to it, He has drip. And that's important. At number 3, he's tall. He's over 15 feet tall. I heard height is a good thing. He's 15 feet tall. So, yeah. That's it. I'm straight, but let's move on to the seventh monkey. Herbert Hoover. So yeah, a lot of people being like, Jake, that's not a monkey. That's the 32nd president of the. I don't have my phone. I was gonna go look up whether or not he was the 32nd president of the United States. I think he is. Anyways, a lot of people think, Jake, that's not a monkey, that's a guy. But what's the difference, really? I mean, humans are just evolved monkeys, and thus they have the ability to know what crocs are. There's not a lot difference. There's not a big difference between there. And I think he deserves a place on this list. He has a nice suit. He caused the Great Depression. The cons is that he didn't actually cause the Great Depression, but he didn't do anything to help the American people in any substantial way. So he's not the Great Depression isn't all on him, but at the same time he didn't do shit to fix it. So, I've been going back and forth on this debate about should humans count for this list? But I think for specific humans, I think particularly presidential figures, I think they should, because there's a big Venn diagram, of things I would put on this list and things I wouldn't put on this list. And in the middle is things that acting on Venn diagram, T-chart. Things I wouldn't put on this list, anything that you could say could fight a gorilla, which I think the U.S. presidents could. And I'm just remembering now, I have a whole slide about this. So, yeah, top 10 presidents who could defeat a gorilla and how. I think that this is really why. So let's get into it. So number 7, Dwight D. Eisenhower, my personal favorite of all time. Just with tactical strategy and military superiority. He knows what he's doing. Number 8, Jimmy Carter, arson. I mean, we knew he was going to be on this list, and we knew arson was coming. Number 8 is Calvin Coolidge, just talking it out, keeping it cool with the gorilla, okay? And I think that's awesome. Sorry, I skipped one there. Number 7 is J2A. He would negotiate, kind of like Coolidge, but it would be more of a, take some, lose some kind of thing. Number 6 is Obama, obviously 4th dimensional powers. He would just turn into a prism, and how could a gorilla defeat a prism? Gorillas are not known for defeating prisms, so he has this in the bag. Number 5 is Bill Clinton, sex appeal. Number 4 is JFK, sex appeal but stronger. Also, I'm straight. Number 3 is gonna be Andrew Jackson. He just has Florida man energy, Look, say what you will about the atrocious stuff he's done. He's a Florida man, okay? I don't care where he was born. It was Florida. But yeah, number 2 is going to be William Henry Harrison. A lot of people might be like, who the hell is that? Well, that's the shortest serving president of all time. Why? Because he died of pneumonia, which was that's how he would win this, though. Chemical warfare via pneumonia. I mean, the gorilla might think that he's won, but when he starts coughing and has to tell his gorilla friends that this is it, he's won. William Henry Harrison. And you know what number 1's going to be. I mean, it's Teddy. And how? One punch. All he needs. Teddy fucking Roosevelt. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah. So I hope that cleared up the debate. We can get back to this list. I'm sorry for all these tangents. I didn't think there'd be so many. It's almost like it was fucking, I purposely put all these tangents in. I don't know why, but moving on. Number 6, the Danzig Coldplay Monkeys. Dude, they have the second best dance moves on this list. And how they do is funny as hell when the monkey's like, woo! That's funny. So funny. At cons, the animation though sometimes looks pretty rubber-like. Yeah, but, and speaking of the music video, even though they look rubbery, I think, the song, this is definitely Coldplay's best song. Maybe asking Jake, how are you going to back that up? I just like the music video. I don't really listen to Coldplay that much. I know a couple of the songs, but I mean, look at the fucking how the monkey does. Look at them groove, dude. It's monkeys dancing. It's look at him groove, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, thank you. That's it for that. But number 5 is the Kung Fu Panda monkey. Pros, the monkey meme is so funny. Just the clip of like the monkey being like, "You saved me. Why?" And then Oogway just goes, "Monkey," and then cuts off there. That's so funny. Cause he just says monkey. Oh, my sense of humor has died so long ago. But also he's voiced by Jackie Chan. With Jackie Chan, just a fun guy. Great action star. Just great. The cons though is that he's not in Everything Ever All at Once, my favorite movie of all time. You know, originally, the movie was supposed to surround Jackie Chan as the main character. In the 2017 draft, literally, Jackie Chan is a character within it. It's a version of Jackie Chan from another dimension. And, you know, I am really disappointed because I've read the draft for class, and it's like, I really like this. Like, this is really fun. You know, a lot of stuff carries over. The film really, it still has the essence of it, but what makes me okay with the change is how because Jackie Chan was then switched into Evelyn in the final film, that we got the greatest fucking character in cinema. One of the greatest characters in cinema, Waymond Wang. I know you might be. I was always confused whether or not the name was Waymond or Raymond, but the film itself like refers to him as Waymond, which it just makes him even more wholesome, dude. I love him so much. God, he's so fucking good. God, I fucking love Waymond Wang. Yes. Let me get into that real quick. Yeah. So critical analysis of Waymond Wang part of the story. I'm just gonna be kind of ranting here. Basically, he acts as the heart and soul of the film. You know, he is the most innocent character, which the film was supposed to as a flaw. You know, it has Evelyn say that without her, you know, Waymond wouldn't survive. But you know, and this is supposed to the audience. It's made the audience is supposed to think this as well. You know how Waymond's naivete is going to be his downfall. But then the film does instead of trying to change Waymond, it says no. Waymond is a good person. He does not have to change. Waymond is a static character, which it's really hard to make a main character a static character and yet still have them be so impactful. You know, there's not many examples of static characters really leading a story. The only example that comes to mind for me is something like Paddington in Paddington 2. But basically how the film does it is it reveals more about his character, why he's like this, and basically his optimism is how he fights. And it's this beautiful demonstration of hope in a film. You know, this beautiful message that you don't have to be ruthless and there is a better way. And it's done in such a way where the audience, you know, is taken aback at first. They're like, oh wait, I was thinking wrong. And it's so great, dude. And just his character and his values are not changed over the course of the film, but his motives and reasons for having said values are. Like at times he's a funny, goofy, happy-go-lucky guy, and at other times he's just human. You know, he's just a normal dude. And like literally, this might be my favorite quote in all of cinema, just straight up. You know, was the tax and laundry line. So even though you have broken my heart yet again, I want to say, in another life, I really would have liked just doing laundry and taxes with you. It's a line that doesn't make a lot of sense when taken out of the story, but in the story, dude, it's gut wrenching, dude. It's a masterclass. At first, the audience thinks that this version of the character, the Hollywood version, and Alpha Waymond and all these other versions of the character are like better than the original, but you start to learn that they're the most hollow of them, and that the Waymond, while he may not have, the the confidence and the absolute, control over his life as these other ones, as the other versions of him. He's the most content, and thus he is living the fullest life. Just what a wonderful character. Thank you for saying through that. God, such a good character. Let's get back to monkeys. Number 4, King Kong, classic monkey guy. He's the OG movie monkey. He's a big guy. But the cons is that he would get his ass kicked by Godzilla. I swear to God, these motherfuckers, the motherfuckers who argue that King Kong would beat Godzilla are the same that fucking argue a billion lions would beat all the Pokemon. Because they're fucking stupid and they just want to hold on to a bit. And it's like, look, I get it. I'm a fucking bit machine, okay? I will do dumb shit for the bit. But it's like, at this point, it's funnier to just, it's you're just ruining the debate, man. It's fun to have a debate about these things, to actually come up with smart ideas. But no, these are fucking closed debates. Why not make it something interesting? It's like, fucking, look, let's get it. Why King Kong would fucking destroy, why Godzilla would destroy King Kong? Sorry, I almost had the fucking monkey brain of King Kong fucking radicalist. Number 1, Godzilla, literally, dude, he's tanked so much shit. Nukes, he just eats nukes, okay? And King Kong, literally, in his original adaptation, he died to fucking 1940s playing gunfire. Godzilla, literally, has met God, okay? And all these King Kong fans, they've not met God. He doesn't show up for them. But yeah, literally, Godzilla is just tougher. And you're not gonna be able to hurt him. He's a big lizard with fucking invincible armor, basically, okay? Number 2, fucking laser breath. Dude, King Kong doesn't have range. Godzilla literally, it's like if you put in 2 people to fight and you put one of them in a tank, and with, ammunition, he's still having a fucking fire. Cause what's King Kong gonna do against a fucking laser beam? Literally, he has atomic breath, which is basically just a nuke. Okay? And if it comes down to it, Godzilla, if he hits King Kong and he doesn't just completely eviscerate him, King Kong gets cancer. I'm sorry, but the amount of radiation that monkey's taking, big monkey, big absorption of radiation, King Kong's done for. But finally, it's so upsetting that people will make this debate, and they just miss one of the most obvious points. He's fucking balling. They said he wouldn't be. They said he would never be balling. But he is. He's balling. And King Kong? Show me King Kong balling. You can't. Because Godzilla has canonically fucking balled. Okay? My boy, my Godzilla, built different. King Kong, your boy, he ain't got it. He ain't got the sauce. My Godzilla, quicked up white boy. He's quicked up scaly dragon. Go to with the sauce. With a little bit of swag. Okay? Busting it down. Sexual style. Your monkey, not it. Not it. But he's a monkey, I'm not gonna I hate to downplay King Kong like this because he's a mega monkey, dude. I don't wanna hate on him like this, but when you put up against, the number 2 lizard of all time, you just be like that. Thank you for sitting through this. I know these rants have been crazy, but I don't think we have too many more. Number 3 is Donkey Kong. Fucking love Donkey Kong, dude. Fucking Banana Slammer, Seth Rogen. I can't wait to see Seth Rogen just go, Banana Slammer! It's gonna be great. I can't do a Seth Rogen impression, but they made him voice Donkey Kong, so I don't think people are gonna care. Anyways, the cons is that he is a part of Donkey Kong Battle Blast, which is the anti-virginity game as seen in Scott the Wild's lore. But, something we don't really talk about with Donkey Kong is just the power of the monkey, because I think that's important. Donkey Kong is a powerful monkey. Maybe one of the most powerful monkeys, just in pure monkey strength. And so, how do you gauge the strength of a monkey? Well, I think there's one opponent that you can put every monkey against to determine their strength, to see where they fall in comparison to one another. And, it's a Red Army. And a lot of people debate whether or not Donkey Kong could take on the whole Red Army. Because, not a lot of monkeys can, but King Kong easily could. I mean, I'll just get into it. Guidelines, so we're going to say Donkey Kong's Donkey Kong, okay? All leaders, all appearances of the leader of the bunch will count for this, okay? And for the Red Army, we go with the maximum amount, of soldiers during World War II. So that's roughly 11,365,000, which I'm going to say is probably the most powerful version, at least in action. Because, that was the last real conflict the whole Red Army fought in. But Donkey Kong's power is crazy. Okay, Donkey Kong has gone toe-to-toe with Mario, who has light speed reaction time, and has the durability of a black hole, okay? He's been to space, and he's just tanked the black hole before. I don't know if you know how strong the black hole is, but it's a lot, okay? And Donkey Kong is, rumored to be even stronger than that, okay? And his whole thing is that it's bronze over brain for him, okay? Donkey Kong's kind of an idiot, but it's more of an idiot thing where, he's not good at, math or, critical thinking. But if it's about murder, Donkey Kong has it on its mind, okay? He's got murder on its mind, and it's Donkey Kong time. That's a fact. So yeah, here's the thing. He can punch so fast that an explosion forms on his hand, which not only means that he can hit super fast and cause small, things of nuclear fission, but also he can take that on his hands, because Donkey Kong he's just punching after that. Donkey Kong just punches and he's grooving. So yeah, he also has, he has a proto Toon Force. Toon Force, obviously, think Looney Tunes. Man can just, sometimes if the animator feels like it, Donkey Kong just is Donkey Kong. He's not a funny monkey. He's all the monkey. But yeah. And while the Red Army couldn't stop him, they just can't touch him, dude. I've seen, when I was doing research for this, I saw some Reddit articles claiming that the Viet Cong could take Donkey Kong because Donkey Kong's never faced bullets, and the bullets would just go right through him. But that completely ignores his durability feats, as even though you could argue that his feats are more blunt force, they are still a greater volume than what a bullet would be if you were to scale it up around his whole body. Because Donkey Kong is taking black hole levels of power to in a punch, okay? But the thing is, even if you were to shrink that down to a bullet size, even if you had a bullet with the power of a black hole, Donkey Kong could still tank it. It wouldn't. I don't think it would pierce him. He's literally just built different. Okay, and the only chance the Red Army has is by tricking him somehow, but they can only do that for a certain amount of time. Because you're not gonna get Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong cannot die from any earthly means. Okay, you'd have to get him to somehow kill himself with his own power. But even then, I think Donkey Kong is just, he'll figure it out eventually. He's dumb, but once he's mad, you're done. One red soldier, decides, there's a pretty good banana. And he turns around, and instead of the Game Boy falling on him, it's fucking Donkey Kong just fucking banana slamming him. It's done. It's done. And they couldn't take him. I thank you, and dear God, if Donkey Kong ever becomes real, do not let the Soviets near him. Number 2 is Harambe. He's our king, our hero, but he's not bulletproof, which is a big turnoff for monkeys, as you'll see coming up. But a lot of people really debate around Harambe, and he's almost been a little bit forgotten now. I mean, everyone knows Harambe, but no one really talks about Harambe anymore. No one's whipping out their dick anymore. Which it's a shame, because, well, not the whipping out the dick part. That's a crime, but forgetting him, that's a shame, because I really do think there's a lot more to Harambe, and I really, through my time in meme culture and meme history, I really do think Harambe was the focal point of the meme renaissance in 2016. I really do think that was the moment meme shifted into more of a mainstream, thing that had been used in a lot more formats than just comedy. So obviously you have the early time period, which is early meme culture. I argue this is from the early 90s all the way to 2015, really. I know that encompasses, like, like your Gandalf memes, your Velociraptor memes, Velociraptor, what the fuck the name is, I forget. Your Success Baby, Bad Luck Brian, and even Rickle, which I know, I think it's more 80s, late 80s, but still. This is the vast majority of them, but this era, is more just goofy. Not a lot of the stuff is none of it's much more than comedy, I would say, or much more than a joke. But this is where I think the meme renaissance comes in 2016. I believe 2016 is the focal point of all of it. Because this goes back to the death of Harambe, with just how upset you saw the world get over the death of this fucking random gorilla, basically. And from this point on, memes, people started to realize, memes almost, unite people. It's weird, like just how much Harambe affected the world. I mean, you have people, in fucking Europe, talking about Harambe, and it's crazy, right? Some gorilla gets killed in the Cincinnati Zoo. People in Europe talk about it, So then people start realizing the power of memes, and obviously this year as well was the election year, and memes I think played a humongous part in them. Obviously you have your Hillary memes with Pokemon Go to the polls, and you have your Trump memes, which is fucking like half the shit he said. And then you also have Pokemon Go just in general. Internet culture at this point has begun to take over the mainstream. I mean, people are playing Pokemon Go on their phones. They're whipping their dicks out for Harambe, and it's also the time in which video editing for memes kind of took off. Like with We Are Number One with Stefan Carlson and with Robbie Rotten. Those edits were getting crazy. I remember seeing those back in the day. They were absurd and just very well done. One of my favorites of all time. But then obviously now you get into the modern era, which memes have almost transcended just being jokes in a way, and the more form of social expression, which I know sounds fucking preachy, but really I think memes have become almost surrealist in their comedy, and it's almost the idea of now the memes themselves are not making jokes, but the meme themselves are the jokes. Like fucking just random shit, like fucking, like you can put like, I can just come up with me on the spot, imagine a giant fucking shadow creature, and you just put like the fucking name Carl, and then at the bottom text, done. No joke, but it's the idea of just how fucking stupid it is that makes people laugh. Because here's the thing, people naturally want to laugh, and that's why memes took off. They are this form of, hey, we can both relate to this thing, we can both make dumb, stupid jokes. It makes no sense, but we're okay with that, and we're gonna laugh at it together. And that's kind of what memes have become. They've also allowed for, a lot more expression with, things such as politics. Political memes they exist now, and they get pretty crazy. But they've also been used to shine on a lot of, very serious topics. Whether it be like dark humor memes, about recent event, or just things that like chastise, bad people. I guess a bit like a big example would be like Winnie the Pooh with Xi Jinping, or stuff with Vladimir Putin after the Ukraine invasion. Basically, memes have transcended a lot ever since their introduction. Also, fuck Article 13. You forgot what that was for a while. You may not know what it is now. You may have just fucking forgot it completely, but fuck Article 13. God. Thank you. And so, number one, Oranguru, the Pokemon. You might be saying, what the fuck? This guy beat Harambe? How? Well, if you watch my list, my original list, you know the real reason, and that's because it has the ability Bulletproof, which, like I said before, big weakness of monkeys. I mean, think King Kong, Harambe, Herbert Hoover, probably. All of them are weak to bullets, but you literally cannot shoot this monkey. He also has a solid typing, but his big weakness is that his hips don't thrust. He doesn't really have dance moves, which, I really wish there was a monkey that had that. But, yeah, Pokemon has been strange. I do believe the Pokemon games have been getting kind of stale, but honestly, I don't see a lot of people ranking these games because they all say they're the same, but I believe they're awesome shoutouts. Just the top 3 best Pokemon games, it's really fucking easy to do. Number 3 is going to be Legends Arceus. The coolest thing Pokemon has done, in recent history. At times, it's a bit repetitive, but they made it actually difficult and, added replayability. They gave Oshawott as a starter, which is based as hell because Oshawott is fucking awesome. I would take a bullet for Oshawott, through the heart, okay? I would die for him. And then number 2, I'm gonna say Sun and Moon. Literally the most, basically the most contentful game. And it's so underrated. It literally has everything that I say this is before modern Pokemon started going downhill. Because after this, it just was they with National Dex and all that shit. Literally, there's just so much. So it has your Mega Evolution, Juicy Crystals, and literally it has over 800 fucking Pokemon in it. That's crazy. You can just, it's so great. And it made the competitive scene so fun just because there was so much stuff to do. As long as you want, so many different Pokemon you can use if you want to play Ubers, where obviously it was fucking cringe because all Ubers is cringe because you just use all the fucking strongest ones. That's some weak shit. But number 1, I mean, Hawkwold's also, but this is the purest form of Pokemon. It is dumb and seemingly endless fun. Literally, they give you a little Poke Walker. You could you go out on a jog, you could still be playing fucking Pokemon. Basically, you get your fucking, you get to bring a Pokemon with you. I think Ultra Sun and Moon still had the most content in the series, but Soul Silver literally, I think, had the best. You got 2 full games. Literally, you beat Johto and you do all that stuff. You got Kanto, and then you got access to all the stuff in Gen 4. You literally got a whole new game. You beat the game and there's more game. That's absurd. And this was the first Pokemon game I think I got. It wasn't the first one I beat. That was in Gen 5, and I was a dumb stupid child when I got it. But I remember my grandpa got me Heart Gold, which I wish it was Soul Silver because Lugia is my favorite Pokemon. But still, God, I still go back and play Heart Gold sometimes. It's fucking great. They're the best games in the series, easy, hands down. So thank you for watching. And yeah, man, I'm glad I went through those 10 monkeys and that there's not a secret number 1 unless I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, there is. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, just like my last list, the real number 1 is a Skype monkey. Look at him fucking groove, bro. Dude, he's fucking hitting the SNAS. I don't know which direction. He's fucking hitting the snasty, dude. His hips don't lie, he's grooving. He has no cons, he's the fucking Skype monkey. And that is the real end. Thank you for watching. The entire list was exactly the same as last time, except now I added 10 goddamn filler segments because I thought it'd be a funny bit. And now I have to edit this all together, and I hope the green screen works, and I hope the mic works, and I hope the recording didn't stop. So, yeah. And the video is going to end when I click out of this in 3, 2, 1. Now we stop the recording there. Holy shit, it's been 40 minutes. Oh no. I have to edit this all. Well, thank you for watching.